Hi everyone. So we have successfully installed this Anaconda distribution and our required Pandas library on our local machine, and we have successfully started this Jupyter lab in a last video. Now I have already my Jupyter lab launcher is open. Now in this video we are going to see how to import all those necessary library which we are going to use throughout this whole course. So mostly we are going to use with this Pandas library. So let's see how to import it. As we have already seen in earlier videos while verifying the installation, but let's go a little bit more into detail about it. So I'm going to create one more new Jupyter notebook. So just press on this button and it will create a new Jupyter notebook for me. Let me rename this notebook. So I'm going to give the name like input library and rename it. Let me just close it so we can get a more room here. So let me just create a heading, import library. Now it is a by default Python cell, so I'm just going to change it to the markdown cell, and along with that I am going to give one hash and space. Let me just execute. Now to execute this particular cell, as I already told you, we are going to use either this particular button or shift enter. So I am going to continue with this shift enter. Okay, so first we are going to import the numerical Python library. For some of the video we are going to use this numerical Python library. Apart from that, Pandas is internally using or heavily using this numerical Python library. So to import this numerical Python library, I can just simply use import numpy. Now every single function which is written as a part of this particular library, I can just simply reference it with name like a numpy dot whatever all functions are available. And there is a one more concept like a alias name. So instead of writing this full 5 character of numpy, I can use while importing this particular module in a Python as and common convention which we are going to use, which all the community people of this Python and data science people, data analysis people will use, like a NP. So now what happens that we are referencing this particular library and numpy library as a name NP. So you might also have a two name. So some of the people will call you with your original name and some people will call you with your some sort of pet name at your home. So that might be your another name. So you can be referenced with a two name or three name. Same way this library we are going to reference with a two name. So either you can reference with numpy, but numpy is a little bit longer. So if you want to just reference with the name like a NP only. So now in future, whatever the functionality is available inside this numpy library, you can just simply reference with NP. So let me just execute it. So it has successfully loaded this library. Now let me just write NP instead of numpy. I am just pressing dot here and press tab. So all those kinds of suggestion which I can apply on the top of this numpy library, it will be listed down here. So you can see now instead of writing this full numpy library with just NP name, you can get all those kind of suggestion and you can apply all those function has been written inside this numpy library. Now we are not going to go into detail about all those function as of now. Let's import the another library like a Pandas library, which we are heavily going to use throughout this whole course. So for Pandas, the library name is Pandas only, but there is a short acronym commonly all those community people use like as PD. So now every single function and methods attributes available, you can just reference with a PD name. Let me just execute it. And the third library which we are going to import is a mother of all visualization library available in a Python. So directly we are not going to use any function from it, but let me just show you that how to import those library. And Pandas visualization functionality which we are going to see in this course, that is also written on the top of this matplotlib library. So sometimes you can use some functions out of this matplotlib library also for the visualization purpose. So I am going to import mat. Oh, sorry. Actually, I have just pressed tab, so it has automatically autocomplete for me. So I can just simply use matplotlib import, and it has imported this matplotlib. But we are not going to use all those modules generally inside this matplotlib library. Instead of that, one module available in this matplotlib library is pyplot. So we are going to use this pyplot. Now you can see by just pressing tab, it start giving me suggestion. So I'm just going to select which is particularly appropriate suggestion for me. So I'm just going to go to that particular option and just select enter. And I'm going to give the alias name like a PLT. So every single function available in this pyplot, I can just simply reference with the PLT. So we have successfully loaded all those three libraries which we are going to use throughout this whole course. So let me just summarize what we have done till now in a section 1 and a section 2, that we have seen some of the things related to pandas, that what is the role of pandas and why pandas is required, what problem pandas is solving, and some of the features associated with the pandas. Then there is some course related FAQs we have seen, and we have successfully installed this Anaconda, Python, Pandas, and all those necessary library which we want for this particular course. And we have gone through the walkthrough of this Jupyter Lab, which we are going to use as a integrated development environment inside this course. And we have successfully loaded this library which we require. Like first and very important library is import pandas as a PD. Now from the next section, we'll first go through the basic crash course on a Python. So this is not for everyone. If you are already comfortable with a Python, you can just simply skip this particular section, and it is just the optional section I'm going to add in this particular course. And you can just straight away jump to the actual Pandas core functionality of series data structure, which will start in a next section. Okay, so that is all about this video. I am very much excited to see you and get started with the Pandas core data structure like a data frame, series, and a panel data structure.